Now get into how what this judgment means for the APC as we bring in the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Felix Morka, who joins me virtually on the news. Good to have you join us.
Much for having me.
Right, so let's get how your party is reacting to this particular judgment. Were you surprised by this judgment?
No, thank you very much. First of all, let me congratulate the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, on this landmark decision by the Supreme Court of our country. No, we were not surprised by this outcome. We have been very clear, and we were confident from the get-go. This was the judgment we expected, because the facts that the petitioners took to court had no way out. There was no basis, quite frankly, for all of the arguments that were made before the courts. So the petitions court, the first court of appeal, ruled on this matter and was just affirmed by the Supreme Court. So there's nothing about it that's surprising. We were very confident that this would be the outcome, because the facts would only lend itself to this very outcome.
Some have said because of this judgment, or as a result of this judgment, the question around legitimacy is now laid to rest. Are you also heaving a sigh of relief, in that regard? Was this a question of legitimacy for you, or just affirmation?
Look, it was never about legitimacy, because the institution that's charged by law with the duty to conduct elections conducted the elections, and that's INEC. They observed all the protocols laid down by law and, counted the votes and declared the results in favor of Mr. President. So the question of legitimacy was never an issue for us. Those who tried to do so, to raise that question, did so for their own very narrow, selfish, political, purpose. So for us, this is really, look, Nigeria is a constitutional order. We are a democracy where three arms of government function, doing their jobs assigned by the Constitution. The courts were given the duty to adjudicate between disputes, between citizens, or between citizens and the government. So when these cases were filed in court by the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party, we knew that a day will come, a day like this will come, when that institution of our courts will have the final say in the matter. And today, they rested this matter. The judgment was very eloquent. It was completely definitive, and it was final. And I hope that our friends in the opposition will take this as the end of this matter and, reach out and, work with the government to begin to focus on what is important, which is the task of, getting governance going in the right direction.
And the president has now reacted to this particular judgment. The president said, with this victory, it's time for more work. He also said that everyone must now come together and work for the good of Nigeria, that this is about the future of the country. And so we're just going to give you that reaction coming from the president.
I've started from day one to work hard, regardless of the court cases, okay? And just strengthen my resolve to do more. A challenge of this nature and a future of this nature is more work, and more hard work, more dedication. Just appeal to the sense of patriotism of Nigeria to have a change of mindset. Let us be positive about our country. Be ready to contribute in all ways possible. There's no promise of El Dorado from day one. We're all in this boat of diversity, a member of the same family, living in the same house, but stay in different rooms. And it is important that we recognize that we have no other country but this one. So we better be committed to it. not for the sake of our own self-aggrandizement, our commitment to the values, the creed of dedication, patriotism, and commitment to the value of this country.
All right, that was the President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, reacting to the Supreme Court judgment. We still have Felix Morka, who is the APC Publicity Secretary, with us. I want to get your reaction to that statement from the President.
We have no country but this one, so says the President, and I agree. This is a moment, this decision today is a clarion call to everyone, every Nigerian, irrespective of your political persuasion or political party affiliation, or for that matter of your gender or origins or religion. It's a solemn call to Nigerians, to all of us, to stand up for our country, to stand up shoulder to shoulder, to tackle those challenges that confront us as a people. This is the time. There's no better time for everyone, both those who went to the court and those who lost and those who won, to come together, to begin to put Nigeria first and to put the people of Nigeria first, and to fight and battle for their interests rather than for these partisan interests. That should be rested. So I agree with Mr. President that we need now to focus on the well-being of the least amongst us, those of us who cannot even help themselves. It is for them that government exists. And I think that this is the day that should mark a turning point in the way we engage, in the language we speak, in the way we critique. Yes, we can critique and affirm. We can disagree with government. We can offer constructive criticism. And I really will invite the opposition in this country at this time to now step into that role as the political opposition, to work with government, point out where there are gaps, where there are ideas for improvement, and to offer those ideas so that this president can continue to do the very best that he's able to do with his tenure for all of us as citizens of Nigeria.
All right, so Mr. Felix Morka, I will just put you on hold today. It's your party that won, so we have a lot of questions to ask you.